the CO stands for collect and organize. So we're constantly inundated with like inspo from other brands and whatever. And so our process is to, whenever we come across that in our feed, we'll dump it into a Slack channel where people can talk about it or not. And we have a Slack channel for ads and email and a whole bunch of related inspiration. And then when anyone in Slack hits the brain emoji on a particular item, it gets automatically put into another channel, which our VA then takes that item and puts it into Notion and categorizes it as whether it's like related to an ad and puts the link and who's it from as well. And so then it's organized. And then in this bi-weekly meeting that we have this template where it shows all of these things that we've been collecting for weeks or for the past 2 weeks. And we go through it and we talk about it. Like we discuss these particular items and how can they be applied to other clients. And it's really important to like, it's so easy to see something of inspiration and then literally apply it to like half of your clients because it's just a thumb stop and you're like, oh, how can we use this for this client, that client, that client? And so that is the discussion part. The act part is in this meeting. We create projects very quickly, also in Notion. And these projects are just like the beginnings of an ad. Our projects sort of work their way through Notion, but we try not to create a project and then don't write all the details. It has to be like very quickly because we come out of these meetings with like, 20 to 30 different ad ideas, which turn into projects that we then run through and process for the following 2 weeks. In this meeting, we also look at previous data for previous ads, and that data is put into Notion by our VA as well from Ads Manager. And then, so we're also, we're big fans of fixing and rehabbing ad creative if it didn't work. We find that we can generally make it work. If it doesn't work like twice, we'll cut it loose. But so we in this meeting, we are also like coming up with fixes, going over with the editor and everyone else, like the creative metrics, thumb stop, etc., and figuring out how to fix it, and then also creating projects which add up to like the 20 or 30 projects that sort of come out of this. And the reason why we do that is because we want to stay in this mindset, this very creative mindset of coming up with ideas and not have the iteration meeting separate or whatever. And then the last part of that is when we run like actual legitimate experiments on things, which we do less often, but it's something where it's like, does this type of copy work against this other type of copy? And it's like a true, scientific method test. And then, there's $1,000 per variable. And then we also report on those findings as well in this particular meeting. And then the last part of the C.O.D.A.T.A.C.T is claiming, like once you figure out that you have a learning, you have to sort of claim it. You have to like say it out loud. And sometimes we'll do this on Twitter or say it internally, like this is the way something works. And then the final part is teaching it to other people. And teaching is like the final form of truly learning and internalizing something. So if you can find some way to teach it to other members of your team, teach it on Twitter or a newsletter or something, that's how you can like finally get the maximum impact of that particular learning.